I wanted to discuss some of the late game things we can expect from Civilization 6. Now this is my first series ever, it's kind of a practice run through, so my empire is a little bit wonky, I guess, but I also want to drop my first nuke. Let's first start off by taking a look at a few of my cities. I think this game is very, very beautiful in the late game, especially as the sun is setting, night is going to be approaching, so we're going to see all the buildings start to light up and things like that. You know, my capital isn't very impressive at all, because as you can see, I haven't really built a lot of wonders. You know, I built the Terracotta Army, and I also built the Forbidden City, and then everything else is just kind of districts and other things like that. You know, I have a pretty, well-maintained campus with a library, university, and a research lab, so those are all three buildings built in that district there. Obviously, getting up an encampment was pretty important, and things like that. Some of my coastal cities are, I think, things that look a lot better. We've got Boston here that isn't growing so well, and you'll start to notice that I am pretty far behind in science. Again, this, my first series, or my first practice run through just by myself, usually is very experimental, so I'm experimenting with a lot of units and things like that. But yeah, I think Boston has been pretty much screwed in terms of housing. No, we finally got up a few extra housing buildings, which kind of helped. Obviously, you can see the aqueduct, which, provides a little bit of additional housing, things like that. This might be my favorite city, maybe, is Charleston with the Great Lighthouse. We got a harbor. It's actually not a very good harbor city at all. Again, not growing very much, and didn't have the best production, but I think the looks of things looks awesome. You have a little city, you got some farmlands on the outside. I had a few campuses, so that was pretty nice. Obviously, a neighborhood to increase housing. But anyways, that was just kind of a look at some of the game. Some of the looks of my cities, I guess. So what's been going on diplomatically in this game? So as America, I decided to go fascist. So I am fascist America, I guess you could say. We're about to turn 400, so not necessarily every AI. Some of the AIs are pretty far behind in terms of technology. I actually can't tell. Did Germany also go fascist? I really wish it would show us in the tooltip, because some of these colors are too close together. They might still be a merchant republic, which is what I think they were before. As you can see, no one went down communism in this game. We had a few democratic nations. Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know if Spain went fascist here. City-states obviously can choose their own government form as well. The big one was Greece, though. Greece, and it looks like Scythia. So they both went democratic. No communism in this world. Greece did really, really well in this game. And I guess maybe I should have expected that, but we can just look at the scope of things where I am compared to kind of the rest of the world. Actually, no, I ended up catching a lot of the other civs. So it's pretty much between Greece, Rome, Scythia, and myself. I don't know why I got confused there for a second. We're all kind of rushing down the last few technologies. Diplomatically, everybody hates me. You can see these little red symbols next to everybody. I had one friend throughout the entire game, and that was Rome. And everybody else hated me because I think I was just very aggressive. What is that? Is that a stadium? That is awesome. That stadium looks awesome. I had one friend the entire game, and then slowly I started to notice Scythia very quickly approaching a religious victory. So, if you haven't learned yet, religious victories are going to be that early game victory. It's kind of the new science victory to me, because you can get that really early if you focus on faith and you focus on spreading your religion. A lot easier, though, I have to say, on a Pangea map. On a Pangea map, way easier to win a religious victory. The AI definitely had a little bit of trouble getting across to this other continent. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention New Orleans, which is pretty much my Hawaii. This was my city that I settled exclusively just to go attack Greece. But Greece kind of fell off at the end, and they didn't really do as much as I thought they were going to do. They are approaching a cultural victory, but I began to be more worried about Scythia. So anyways, I saw a bunch of apostles and missionaries and things like that coming after us. You can see my little planes, which these guys can just deploy and view certain things, which I really love. I saw a bunch of apostles started to approach my cities and approach this continent, because this continent is dominated by Protestantism. So I was like, oh, no. So I did the last thing I could think of, and I declared war on Scythia, which, obviously she didn't want to. She wasn't going to bring in her religious units anymore. Even though I don't even know if my own, machine guns, I don't think, obviously there's religious combat now, but I guess I could have just bought I've got like 6,000 faith because I haven't used anything. I didn't find a religion in this game as America. But either way, that worked, declaring war on her. But the point is, I lost my longtime friend Rome, and Rome is very close to my empire. They're pretty much the next dominant civ in this game. They also kind of squeezed me in between. They squeezed me out of Charleston and St. Louis. One thing I noticed, uranium was not a very prevalent thing in this map, and I'm really, really hoping that they stay with that. This uranium was like right out of range. What I had to do, the one person that I saw that actually had uranium was Scythia, and I was still at war with her. So I pieced out, obviously, for her uranium. I'm hoping that the AI really requires a lot in advance. I mean, I was going to destroy her. She probably freaked out and just gave me the uranium. But I really hope that, for one, uranium continues to stay limited. I don't like, I've always said this from the beginning of my channel, I don't want a bunch of uranium all over the map. I love it when only a handful of civs have access, maybe one or two, even on a standard game, have access to nukes. And then if an AI has it, it's got to be hard to trade for. That's the second thing. So yeah, Scythia gave me, one source of uranium. She wasn't willing to give me two. I think she had two, which is kind of crazy. I had to build, first of all, I had to build the Manhattan Project, and then you have to build, which is what I'm building inside of my capital, Washington. Then you have to build the nuclear device. You build the nuclear device. Now that's not all yet. Then you need something to carry the nuke. You don't have the option of just, keeping the nuke inside your city and then launching it. You got to build either a plane or, I believe, a missile carrier, a boat. I built the basic bomber, and I actually have it sitting near New York, and we're going to drop it on Germany because I have a spy inside of Germany's capital, and actually it happens to be the biggest city in this game, or tied for the biggest city at 22 population. So that's kind of cool. So we'll see what happens to the population and all the units around it, since we have a spy inside of there. Here's my helicopter unit. There are so many other things I want to say, but I got to keep this video short just so I can show off the nuke, because I'm sure that's what everybody is hoping for or waiting for. Carl Sagan is a great scientist that I generated late game. Super cool. I can't do anything with him right now because I need him to be, I need to have a tile with the space race project, which I'm building, which I was going to build, but I got distracted by nukes, so I ended up not building as much. But we're gonna try out the first nuke ever and see how this goes. I'm guessing all the units are dead. That's a really cool mushroom cloud. I'm sorry I got distracted by that awesome mushroom cloud. Scythia does not like this. Why did you pop up, Scythia? Excuse me, I don't care. Oh, I haven't actually gone to the next turn yet. Alright, so well, first of all, we killed our spy. So that's something. It has pretty much no walls now and no health. It looks like you'll just be able to walk into the city. Didn't kill as much of the population, which is kind of interesting. Still 15 people live. I actually will not be able to take the city. I just wanted to nuke it. I mean, I think it's likely that Rome will probably declare war on us now. They probably didn't like what just happened. But let's just go to the next turn, see how he reacts, see how the world reacts, because I did just drop a nuke on somebody that, and I didn't even use Casabella either. I did just drop a nuke, though, on somebody that didn't really do anything wrong. So this city would be pretty much screwed now, especially if you have one of those rogue units. Rogue units are units that is, like, I think in the modern era that can upgrade from a spy. Ooh, I think we're starting to see those surrounding guys get hit a little bit more. Anyways, so yeah, pretty cool. I like the animation, and it looks like the nukes are going to be pretty big deal, to say the least. It looks like they're going to be a pretty big deal. Now, I probably could have rambled on for another 20-30 minutes of all the things that happened in this game, but again, I kind of wanted just to get a brief overview of everything that's kind of new mechanics and new features of Civ 6. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.